King of Horror is back with not one, not two, but 7 new adaptations dropping soon. Yeah, that's right, 7. If you thought The Shining or It were peak King, then think again. We're diving into all the creepy, weird, and totally mind-blowing stuff headed our way, from cast reveals to plot twists to some juicy behind-the-scenes rumors. So grab your popcorn and maybe a nightlight, because we're going to break down everything Stephen King's bringing to the screen this year. Before we get into this exploration, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to the channel. It's a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Deaths are really fucked up.
The Monkey. First up, from the pockets of the King of Horror, we have The Monkey. It's based on a short story called The Monkey, released in a series of short stories in Skeleton Crew. It's a horror comedy directed by Osgood Perkins. Some of you might have seen it, as it already hit theaters on February 21st, 2025. It's already available in PVOD as of April 4th, but we hear you, physical media fans. Pick up a Sharpie and mark your calendars for June 24th, because that's when it drops in 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and DVD. The cast for this one is a dream. Theo James is serving 2 times his charm in comic timing by playing the roles of the identical twins, Hal and Bill Shelber. To add more feathers to that monkey hat, there's a few more. We've also got Christian Convery, Tatiana Maslany, Colin O'Brien, Rohan Campbell, Sarah Levy, Adam Scott, Elijah Wood, and the director Osgood Perkins himself. Just like the classic Stephen King, the story is set in a small town in Maine and goes through numerous playful twists. The story starts when the twins find a monkey in their attic, only to figure out later that it's a cursed toy, and it starts a chain of gruesome deaths. Heavy stuff, but nothing a Stephen King fan would be surprised by. Years pass by, and Hal and Bill are now adults. Will they be able to break the curse? Join them on a raucous adventure as they confront the blood-soaked legacy of the monkey and break the curse. It's already getting a lot of glory from the critics for its gory kills and ludicrous humor, and it earned a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. IGN calls it a wild, bloody ride that leans into Perkins' signature weirdness, while Vulture notes its gleeful chaos and creative death scenes. Yeah, that's right, it has some very gross death scenes, but nothing Perkins hasn't already done. It's the perfect midnight movie. It has the scares, but it also has the laughs shoulder to shoulder, keeping it entertaining and you on your toes for 98 minutes. Stephen King himself endorsed it as a fun, freaky experiment, so even if it is a bit dark, it's also extremely playful.
In this moment, I am wonderful.
The Life of Chuck. If horror's not your thing, Stephen King has got something a little different up his sleeve with this one. The Life of Chuck isn't your typical King scarefest. This one's actually a heartfelt sci-fi drama directed by none other than Mike Flanagan. Yup, that's the genius behind The Haunting of Hill House and Gerald's Game, but this time he's ditching the jump scares for something more emotional. Dropping in June 2025, this one is already making waves after its screening at the Toronto International Film Fest. And get this, the cast is stacked. We've got Tom Hiddleston playing Charles Krantz, plus Mark Hamill, Karen Gillian, Jacob Tremblay, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Matthew Lillard. Like, what a lineup, man! The story follows Chuck's life in reverse, starting from his final days and moving all the way back to his childhood. It's got big themes: mortality, memory, and those tiny moments that make life beautiful. Kinda hits you in the feels, you know? People are already calling Hiddleston's performance Oscar-worthy, and even Stephen King himself said it was a beautiful take on the story. The release date's been moved around a bit, classic, which has fans both hyped and impatient, but let's be real, Flanagan knows what he's doing. With him and Stephen King teaming up again, this one's gonna be something special. The Long Walk. The next project is based on Stephen King's novel, which he published under the pseudonym of Richard Bachman. It's a bit of a stretch to call it horrifying. It may be terrifying, but like a thriller in a dystopian setting. Directed by Francis Lawrence, this movie's dystopian narration has kept the fans pumped up. With most of the things unannounced as of yet, we had our sources do some digging, and we took care of the fans. Allegedly, the cast has some very talented faces: Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, Charlie Plummer, Ben Wang, Roman Griffin Davis, Judy Greer, and Mark Hamill. But even after all this, the involvement of Lawrence has kept the fans thrilled. With a brilliant writer, stellar cast, and of course Francis Lawrence, we certainly can't keep calm. The story follows 100 teenage boys competing against each other. The rules are simple. They must walk at least 4 miles per hour without stopping. That's simple, right? But no, breaking the rules means death. You slow down, you die. Collapse, you die. The price? A wish will be granted. The physical and psychological toll is harrowing, with the story exploring endurance, the limits of the human human spirit, sacrifice, and societal control, Lawrence has to Squid Games the hell out of it. The project was shelved earlier when George A. Romero attempted to bring it to life, so the skepticism is real regarding whether it'll materialize this time or not. Only time will tell, we guess, but hopes are high. There have been a few theories of stars like Timothée Chalamet and Jacob Elordi being associated with the project, but nothing concrete. The Running Man. This is another book by Stephen King, which he wrote under the pseudonym of Richard Bachman, and also another book which is not horror spooky, but a thriller sci-fi dystopian spooky. The production was completed recently in March, and it's ready to go to theaters in November this year if all goes well. The movie is directed and produced by the very famous and genius screenwriter Edgar Wright. Glenn Powell leads the film with Katie O'Brien, Daniel Ezra, Carl Gulsman, Josh Brolin, Lee Pace, Jamie Lawson, Michael Cera, Emilia Jones, William H. Macy, Sean Hayes, and Coleman Domingo. The story follows Ben Richer, a helpless man with no money, no job, and no one to turn to, with a daughter in need of medical attention. A desperate man, but where does it lead? He decides to participate in a deadly game show where contestants are targeted by killers and killed for entertainment. Edgar Wright has rewritten some parts of the film with Michael Bacall, but how much and what? We're going to find out in November. The plate looks exquisite. The Shaun of the Dead-esque humor with satire on reality TV shows will make it a hot ticket this year. The story has been made into a movie before, but even Stephen King disliked it. Will the fun flavor of Edgar Wright be able to outshine the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger film? The book is set in 2025, so getting released in 2025 gives it a bang-on relevance considering the media circus in today's day and age. The trailer might drop any day now, and this project might be an introduction for the new generation into the dystopian thriller classic world of Stephen King. It. Welcome to Derry. Who hasn't lost a little bit of sleep over It? We think that applies to all of us, and we've even been scared of clowns ever since It came out, and Pennywise is the most scary and ominous of them all. Pennywise is back with a prequel to the earlier It movies. This time he's got a whole-ass TV series, as if 2 movies weren't enough to keep us away from drains and circuses. The TV series was developed by Jason Fox, Barbara Muschetti, and Andy Muschetti, all of whom were involved with the earlier movies. This TV series will be a prequel to the movies with HBO and Max backing it. It was meant to be released around Halloween 2024, but thanks to delays, it's now terrorizing us in August or September this year. The cast includes Taylor Page, Chris Chalk, Jovan Adepo, James Remar, Steven Ryder, and Bill Skarsgård himself. Comment down below if you know who plays the role of Pennywise among the cast. No Googling and ChatGPTing the answer. The plot will revolve around a trip across Derry's dark history and Pennywise's origin. It's obvious many new characters will be introduced, the horrors of Pennywise will be back, plus the iconic direction by the Muschettis makes it a much-awaited TV series this year. Believe it or not, even though we're stoked for Pennywise's return, fans worry about its period setting. Will it be a clash with Stranger Things or just a nostalgic ride with no fresh jump scares? There is hope with Muschetti's brilliant storytelling and track record that they will definitely whip something new out of Pennywise's already established mythos. With no trailer in sight, the impatience is getting the best of everyone, but the whole idea of getting to see our childhood Halloween movie back on screen keeps the excitement alive. Personally, we think this movie will be serving chills with emotional depth, and we'll finally learn more about Pennywise. Keep an eye out for the trailer, and don't look down the drain. The Institute. Fans are going bonkers over Stephen King's very recent adaptation. It's fresh and straight out of his recent fresh work, a break from his classics getting adapted. Jack Bender has done his magic and brought this 2019 novel to life in a miniseries. It's going to be a suspense thriller with limited episodes in its account with MGM Plus backing it. The series features Mary Louise Parker and Ben Barnes in the lead, with the supporting cast still in debate, but let us slip you a few names: Simone Miller, Joe Freeman, Martin Roach, Mary Walsh, Jason Diaz, and Robert Joy. The story revolves around a gifted boy named Luke. He was abducted and taken to an institute with no windows after his parents were murdered, but he's not alone. The institute has several children like him who have telepathy and telekinetic abilities. The makers are gearing up to release episodes weekly, which means that we'll be left on a cliffhanger every week. It's going to be tense with sci-fi and horror on the loose. The writer himself has been rooting for this series, calling it a terrific adaptation. Bender's experience with King's work has given this project elevated credibility, with supernatural elements and gripping tension adding to the ripe experience worth waiting around for. There are rumors that Luke has aged in the series more than in the original book, but will it make the series less approachable or maybe soften the story's edge? Well, that's still to see. Till then, keep this sleeper hit on your radar. We have a feeling it'll be more than its hype. Fairy Tale. Last but not least, we've got Fairy Tale. Yep, one of Stephen King's newer works. It was originally set to be a movie directed by Paul Greengrass, but now it's being turned into a 10-episode series with J.H. Wyman also on board. As the name suggests, this one's a full-on fantasy story. No confirmed cast yet, trust us we looked, so if you've got any insider info, drop it in the comments. We want to see it. The plot follows a teenager named Charlie Reed who finds a portal to another world after befriending an old neighbor. And yeah, things get wild. A war between good and evil, shadowy monsters, the whole fantasy package. It's Paul Greengrass's first dive into fantasy, so it'll be interesting to see how his usual grounded style works with all this magical chaos. The show's deep in production, and apparently there's already a fight going on between platforms over who gets to stream it. Marvelous verdict! There you have it, a King story for everyone, from the gory laughs of the monkey to the emotional ride of the life of Chuck to the dystopian roller coaster of the Running Man to a fantasy world waiting to be discovered in Fairy Tale to the old horrors coming back to life in It. We mean it when we say there's a story for everyone. Which one are you the most excited for? The Running Man, despite being awful, is a guilty pleasure movie of mine, so I'm really looking forward to that one. Can't wait for that trailer to drop. But let us know what you're excited for down in the comments, and until next time, keep your eye out for trailers and release dates because Stephen King's genius is going to be lighting up 2025. As always, if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Otherwise, thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.